to that short break in just a bit, but let's apprise you of what's taking place in terms of the markets. We do have the mid-cap index, which is up around 1% at this point in time, and we do have some news coming in from the auto space. Let's in fact cut across to Parikshit, who's in conversation with Nitin Gadkari, who's the Minister for Road and Transport and Highways. Listen in.
What's going to be India's roadmap for adopting more electric vehicles in future, more green fuels and more alternate fuel vehicles? Also, what is the current status of highway construction in the national capital and also across the country? Joining us to talk about it all is Nitin Gadkari, Union Transport Minister. Minister Gadkari, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We've just emerged from G20, where there was historic consensus on the Delhi Declaration. I would like to begin by asking you about the sustainability agenda, and if the automotive industry should take one cue from India's sustainability priority at the G20, what would that be?
Actually, frankly speaking, the G20 is one of the successful story in the history of our country under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji. The first time the 20 countries actually with the common agenda, particularly on the biofuel, we have the same thinking on the basis of that same resolution, which is very important as far as the air pollution is concerned. World is facing the problem of air pollution. Even India is also facing the problem of air pollution. Even one of the reports for Delhi, they have already written that because of the air pollution, we are actually decreasing the life of the people of the Delhi by 10 to 12 years. So this is a very, very sensitive and serious problem. And this is the time that we need to develop a biofuel and alternative fuel in the country. I am very happy that because of this biofuel alliance, it is going to helpful to create cooperation, coordination and communication between the stakeholders and this country. Whatever the good research available in Brazil, because Brazil is supposed to be the first country who is started the revolution in as per the ethanol is concerned. So they are adding 22% ethanol in the Air Force fighter jet. Now this is the time that we need to we already add 20% ethanol in petrol. But now, just 20 days before, the first time in the world, we have launched the Euro 6 Innova from Toyota with flex engine on 100% bioethanol. The car is generating 60% power and 40% ethanol.
Right.
And that's the reason, as per the mileage is concerned, the cost of the petrol is coming to 25 rupees per liter with no pollution, green fuel. So there is a great revolution in the part of the fuel also. So we are making now ethanol from rice straw. We are making ethanol from bamboo. We are already making ethanol from corn, then wheat, then rice, then we are making ethanol from molasses, baby molasses.
Right.
And there is a huge potential in the rural and agriculture area for making ethanol. And that is going to create more jobs in the rural agriculture area and growth in agriculture. Okay. Because of the ethanol policy, the most important beneficiaries, the farmer. Firstly, the farmer, we already call them as Annadata. But now because of ethanol, they are Urja Data. And now in Panipat, we are making from Parali bioethanol and biobitumen and aviation fuel. Then the farmer will be bitumen data, and after that they will be bio-aviation fuel data.
Okay.
So this is the diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector, and this biofuel alliance is going to give new vision, new idea, new research, new technology, new standards, whatever which are accepted by the world, and that is going to create cooperation between the countries, and which can be a green history in the particularly in the history of the world. And so, the dream of the Prime Minister to make Indian economy 2070 carbon neutral, that is to be a great our march towards that mission.
So very importantly, you're saying that the industry should take a cue from the Global Biofuel Alliance, and that shows our priority towards sustainable fuels, alternate fuels, ethanol, etc. But I would like to ask you, sir, about your views on diesel. We have been seeing the diesel share of cars, diesel share of automobiles reducing over the years. Currently, the percentage of diesel cars that are being sold every year is around 15 to 18%. It has come down over the years. Will the government go ahead and disincentivize diesel and petrol engines in future in order to push the industry towards biofuels and other alternate fuels?
Actually, we have the import of 16 lakh crores of fossil fuel. And the pollution point of view, diesel is very, very hazardous. Because everywhere there is some pollution is there, in petrol also there, but diesel is very hazardous. It is really a sensitive and health problem for the country. So basically the idea is, I am not against any diesel or any diesel car. Actually, 2014, the car sale was 48% of the car sale was diesel, and now it comes to 18%. So we can go for CNG, we can go for the petrol, but we need to reduce our pollution because it is a serious issue for the whole Indian society. And that is the reason I elaborate my views. This is the time that you should divert towards biofuel and alternative fuel. Now the problem is that I'm not against any industry, but problem is already government is giving incentives for electric cars. Now the GST on petrol, diesel car, fossil fuel is 48%, and in electric car it comes to 5%. So already alternative fuel and the biofuel, government has given a lot of concessions. So my suggestion to the industry that to best way to concentrate on alternative fuel and biofuel, even in flex engine, that can be a great thing. So presently it is a right of the Prime Minister, Finance Minister to take decision about the taxation. But I was telling the spirit that if you are not taking seriously, then ultimately government has to take the special tax on pollution tax on the diesel vehicle. So this is not good. Before that, you should change your policy, more concentrate on biofuel and alternative fuel. That was the spirit behind my argument. Right. So I am not against diesel fuel. Neither we are not going to levy any new tax on diesel vehicle. But the day it is to be time because of G20 and the Biofuel Alliance, it is a time for industry to understand the spirit behind it. That was exactly I want to indicate to the industry with my speech.
But it is a warning in a way that if you don't do it after a certain time, despite all these incentives, then the government can consider a tax as well.
It's not a warning. Actually, frankly speaking, there is a concession for electric already in GST. There is no concession for fossil fuel. It is already in the policy. The people knows it. So I am not giving some that we are going to increase the tax on diesel. That is not my spirit. My spirit was now this is the time that you should rectify your policy, encourage manufacturing of more car on biofuel, flex engine, electric, alternative fuel and biofuel. Right. That is the need of the hour, that is the need of the country, and that is very important for the society as far as the pollution is concerned.
But what about trucks, commercial vehicles? Buses, of course, are moving on CNG today, but trucks, diesel is the predominant fuel.
Actually, I will tell you, I got offered to launch LNG truck from Blue Energy in Chakan. The truck totally, they have a capacity of 1600 kilometers once they take the LNG. And by comparison between diesel and LNG, there is a 50 to 60% saving in the cost. So people are using CNG now in Delhi. Maximum truck they are using CNG. So somewhere now CNG going to everywhere. So the diesel truck they can convert on CNG or LNG. That can be possible. And now electric trucks are waiting for the market. And we are making electric highway from Delhi to Jaipur on cable. Again, that is going to reduce the cost. Presently, the logistic cost in India is 14 to 16%. Logistic cost in European countries and US is 12%. Logistic cost in China is 8 to 10%. So our target and mission is to reduce the logistic cost into single digit, up to 9%. I am confident within 3 years, we will take it up to 9% by using alternative fuel and biofuel and electric. Okay. So that is to be the mission and that is to be the vision for the industry, and that exactly which I elaborate with my speech.
I'd like to ask you about your comments on 6 airbags. The government had earlier brought out a notification for mandatory 6 airbags for 8-seater cars, that notification has expired. You said that 6 airbags will not be mandatory. Will it be not mandatory for any cars, or will it be mandatory for certain cars?
First of all, because of Bharat NCAP and star rating, the 95% and all the companies, only one is exceptional, they have already taken for 6 airbags. They are making advertisement that in our car we have 6 airbags. They are getting good sale. Now one company, that is only the balance is there. I am expecting that due course of they will also accept, and there will be no problem. So that is the reason that we don't need to again increase the time limit of the notification, because already people have accepted. That is the very clear cut. People are not doing it, so there is no need for that.
But does the 6 airbag rule remain mandatory, sir?
Sir, it is already accepted. 90% of cars is already taking 6 airbags in the international market, in the export. It is mandatory for them that they should have 6 airbags. Even the company which are not in mood to take 6 airbags, they are making model for export. They are using 6 airbags.
Right. Any timeline that you would fix, sir, for the notification to be implemented?
Problem is that when 90%
because the earlier notification has expired.
Actually, the 90% of the people have already accepted, and our purpose is solved. About 6 airbags, I feel that now there is no necessity to increase the date of notification, because already people by and large, because of Bharat NCAP and star rating, all the people are accepted, and I feel that in due course of within 2-3 months, everyone will accept it. So when all are going to accept it, what is the propriety to again making notification for mandatory for airbags? It is not needed now.
Okay. So you're saying that notification on mandatory airbags is not needed anymore?
Already it is successfully implemented.
Right. I would also like to ask you about the future of the FAME scheme. The FAME 2 scheme will come to an end in March next year. There is a lot of deliberation in the industry and a lot of requests coming in from the industry that there should be a FAME 3 scheme. Incentives should continue for the next 5 to 10 years. What is your view, sir, on increasing subsidies beyond 2024?
Actually, this is a subject related with the Heavy Industries Ministry. And for increasing the debt, it is related to the Finance Ministry. I feel that it will be appropriate that Finance Minister or Heavy Industries Minister will give you the exact idea about it.
Right. But in your view, as someone who has seen the electric vehicle industry very closely, someone who meets electric vehicle ecosystem quite regularly, what do you think the industry should be prepared for? If you can give us a sense of
Being a member
thinking.
of a cabinet, it will not be appropriate to give me my view on this issue. But already I am in discussion with the Heavy Industries Ministry and Finance Ministry, and we have discussion, and also we are also making discussion for the future policy. At that time, we will present our views appropriately.
Right. There has been a lot of talk about attracting Tesla to India, Minister Gadkari. You've also in the past held talks with senior executives of Tesla. What is the current status of negotiations with the company? They've been asking for tariff reductions. What is your view? Are they likely to set up soon in India?
They are welcome. We don't have any problem. And Indian domestic market is very huge. At that time, export is also, they can make it. And because of scrapping policy, we are going to reduce the cost of the automobile component by 25 to 30%. They will be benefited. So they are welcome. We are waiting for them. Industries also like steel industry, chemical, fertilizer, pharmaceutical. We can use hydrogen for cars, railway and aviation. So hydrogen is a futuristic fuel, and where we can take the use of technology by giving technology to the farmers by which they can make the hydrogen, green hydrogen. It can be really a win-win situation. We are the highest manufacturer of electrolyzer in the world. So today we are working on hydrogen, we are working on bio-CNG, bio-LNG. We have 185 factories in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. They are in process. They are making bio-CNG and bio-LNG from rice straw, popularly known as parali. And already 36 factories already running. They are making bio-CNG and bio-LNG from biomass, particularly from Parali. And now we can develop the technology by which using biotechnology we increase the productivity of biomass, and using biomass for making bioethanol, bio CNG, bio LNG, and even we can make green hydrogen from that. So the role of the farmers and agriculture industry is very, very important.
Right.
That is the reason I am always telling the people that diversification of agriculture towards energy and power sector.
Right.
Our farmers are Annadata, now they are Urja Data, now they are Bitumen Data, and now they will become Hydrogen Data, and that is to be Fuel Data, Aviation Fuel Data, where we are adding our bio-aviation fuel in the aviation fuel. That is to be a great history, where we are now in the process that we will add our bio-aviation fuel into aviation fuel. That will be the great day, we are waiting for that.
So on scrapping, you've been a big proponent of vehicle scrapping, but for this industry to take off, you've also been nudging companies to give certain concessions, also state governments and the center to give concessions. Are we going to move ahead with some sort of policy that will make sure that companies also give concessions, and maybe is there something we can expect from government?
47 plants are already started, and there are hundreds of plants in the process now. Now the manufacturer companies are also taking interest. I am just appealing to the automobile component industry, then dealer network companies to take the initiative in the scrapping and fitness centers. So there is a good response. We actually giving concession is not in our hand. We are trying to recommend this policy to the finance ministry, and we are positive that they will offer some concession for that. And after the certificate issue, we are also requesting the manufacturing industry that the people, those who have the certificate, you give them some concession to them, by which it is going to increase your sale. Because by scrapping, we are going to increase the sale of automobile industry by 18%. So that is to a win-win situation, where we are expecting cooperation from them.
So on scrapping, sir, what is the kind of concession that you requested the finance ministry for?
Actually, I don't know to elaborate. That is the private discussion between the ministry, but we are positive and we are discussing with them.
Right. I'd like to ask you about something that is very close to your heart, and that is road construction. The ministry has set a target of 13,800 kilometers of highway construction in FY24. Are we likely to meet our target? Where are we right now?
We are 38 kilometers per day was the previous target. Our target is now beyond that. We are trying for that. Presently, it is because of the rainy season. We are not awarded that much work. But just the rainy season stopped. Our target will be more compared with the last year.
So you're saying that it could be higher than what was we did in FY23?
That it should be higher than the last year.
Okay. I would also ask you about what has happened in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, the flood damage that was caused to national highways. You sought a report recently. Have you got an assessment on
it's a very serious problem.
The quantum of damage?
It is, yes, it's a very serious problem, particularly in the Himalayan Valley. And this is the time that we need to find out some new technology, that how we can protect the people from that. Because rainy season, floods, and there are a lot of problems. And geography in Himalayan terrain is very difficult. That is not a black rock.
Right.
So we need to, the same type of problem in Switzerland, we have in the process of discussion with the consultants and technical people. And on the basis of that, we will think on the line and we will find out some option for that.
But could you give us a sense, sir, the quantum of loss to highways as a result?
It's a big loss. It is a natural
Any number
calamity.
that you could give us?
No, we don't have exactly the total cost of it, but it's a big loss.
And what will be done in future in terms of road construction in these hilly regions, in places such as Joshimath, where we saw massive landslides recently? What can be done to avoid these kind of issues in future?
It is not because of the road. Already technical committees are there. After receiving their report, it will be good to make any official comments on that. But there are many issues related with these issues. But ultimately, as for road construction, we are making tunnels to resolve this problem. But to make tunnel is not economically viable. So we are working on different technical solutions, taking the advice from the different expert people in the world, and we will be in due course of time with the solution, we will implement that.
On Euro 7, Europe is considering bringing in Euro 7 from 2025 for cars and 2027 for trucks. Is that a timeline that India will also follow, sir, on Euro 7?
Presently, we have not taken any decision about it. We are now up to Euro 6. We have on the agenda, particularly we have taken the decision BS6, Euro 6. Regarding the change going for Euro 7, European countries and America, after their decision, then we will think on the line.
Okay. So my final question would be about the India, Middle East, Europe corridor that has been agreed upon between UAE, United States, Saudi Arabia, India and United States. Minister Gadkari, how important is this for the Indian industry, the Indian economy?
It is very important because it is going to increase the export. It is going to helpful for the farmers. It is going to increase the growth rate. It is going to increase employment potential. And that is the reason it is very, very important by all the way for India and concerning countries. So already the foreign minister has having a discussion with me. First of all, they will plan, and after the later receive from them, we will think on the line making DPR and taking cooperation from the concerning countries, and then we will plan, and then we will formulate the policy with the consultation with the PMO and the foreign ministry, and after the decision, then we can think about it, that how we are going to go ahead for that.
All right, Minister Gadkari, thank you so much for speaking to CNBC-TV18 about your views on highway construction, sustainability in road construction, the electric vehicle and alternate fuel roadmap as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, there you have it. That's full conversation with the minister on a range of issues from a market perspective. Most importantly, he clarifies that he has nothing against diesel vehicles and he's not seeking any tax changes either on the fuel, diesel that is, or diesel engines or diesel vehicles. Nifty Auto Index hasn't reacted. Most of these stocks are absolutely sort of flat to minor sort of dip coming in because he's saying the overall thrust has to be to move away from fossil fuels towards green fuels. And of course, he's a big proponent for biofuels coming through with that global biofuel alliance that we saw at the G20. That's one. The second, this whole airbag issue, he's saying there's no need for a notification to make it mandatory, 6 airbags, because according to him, this is already in the works and it is part of the blueprint which the Bharat NCAP norms, the new safety testing norms, they already talk about 6 airbags. So perhaps no need for a specific separate notification on this. That's the minister for you. We need to take a very quick break. Back on the other side with more on the markets and more stock-specific action as well.